The city, so many had to endure its loudness, its unforgiving nature. You don't need to get used to it, because only a few like you can run away from it. To a place where life is lived in whispers. To a place where the rustling leaves, the calm waves, is music. To a place like the residences at Terrazas de Punta Fuego, the finest Punta Fuego address in Nasugbu, where only a few can ever call it home.
We grew up in that area. My father had a small beach house, and Punta Fuego was one of the areas that we would go and spend time. As I got involved into the business, we began to see that this is an excellent coastline. It was at that time undeveloped, no clear vision, no clear concept of what that area could become. We saw an opportunity. We also felt at that time, these were the 90s, when we started conceptualizing this. We felt that there was a new generation coming in, more outdoorsy, people that would enjoy the sun, the sea. We wanted to have people with roots there that could establish, because we felt that that's the way to create value long term. When we came up with the vision or the concept, that I must give credit to our Landco partners at that time. They were quite firm on saying, if we want to create value, we have to have a discipline in the project. After discussions, they said, well, let's come up with maybe the idea of a Spanish Mediterranean being the coastline.
The way Landco looks at a project, we look far into the future. What we're after really is that 50 years from now, you'd still be proud of the place you live.
Many can just dream about it, talk about it. The exquisite view.
What's special about Terrazas is that you have a beautiful cove, crystal clear waters, white sand, and an exclusive cove. And then right immediately behind you are the mountains. That thing is priceless, no?
The taste of Spanish Mediterranean influence.
Now, the way we design it, we would hire a foreign architect. You have this piece of land in front of the beach. You tell the architect, we want every single unit to have a view of the sea. So instead of building a box, he would build a V so that all of the units are facing the sea. It's going to be single loaded, meaning your hallways only have one room side to service. There are only 132 units in that building.
One of the real strengths is how we work across those different scales and disciplines. So understanding the wider context of urban design and the broader master plan, and bringing that story right through to the architecture and the interiors. And I think contextual design is so important in this case, that the building, the design feels of its place. The opportunity to work in such an incredible setting. Our brief here was to create a really exclusive residential sanctuary. So that idea of sanctuary, tranquility, serenity, this fantastic setting, that was a driver through everything.
Well, it's actually our second condominium to have double piping. As a unit owner, you spend half of what a typical unit owner uses for water. So all of the appliances we put there are energy efficient. Low E glass. Low E glass is basically a type of glass that prevents the UV rays from coming in. It takes less energy for your air conditioning to cool up your room. Sustainability is important to Landco, but it should be important to everyone. And this is Landco doing its part. We know how to build projects sustainably, so we commit to that. Every single project, even if it's more expensive, we understand. We do it anyway, because it's the right thing to do.
The residences at Terrazas de Punta Fuego is designed with a planet in mind and is built for the generations to come.
That is the great thing about property. You get to enjoy it now. You buy a property, if it comes from a good developer, it has a good name, a great pedigree, build a house, enjoy it to the max. It continues to appreciate, and you're enjoying it right now with your family. And when it's time to go, you pass it on to the next generation, and then you just repeat the process. That generation now again enjoys that property, and then after 40, 50 years, it passes it on to the next generation.
You can have a good piece of it to call yours. Already a few made their decision to find their place at the residences, and we wait only for a few more.
This is the last piece of property in Terrazas de Punta Fuego. Now, the Punta Fuego is a very exclusive and fantastic community. It is a place where you would love who your neighbors are. It is a place where your family could grow in security and frankly prestige. This is basically the last opportunity to be part of that exclusive community. So if you are after the address, the architecture, the neighbors, the exclusivity, I believe this product's for you.
Make the decision to call this place home, because only the few are the ones who do.